Hey everyone, this is Nate and this is the Nader Tater channel. Alright, let's talk about a video doorbell solar charger. So this one is something that you hook up alongside your house, and it has solar panels on all sides that then take in the sunlight and convert that to power out of this little micro USB cable here. Now this is from a company called XTU, and they make video doorbells themselves as well as cameras and other stuff, trail cams and whatnot. But it also works on other cameras. So this one here is a new doorbell I just got in, and this is actually a Ring video doorbell. I think they call it a 2020 release, but you can still buy them new like this one is. And this one has a micro USB cable in the back, so that works with this one. I don't believe this actually works with a Ring Video Doorbell 3 or Ring Video Doorbell 4. So you'll have to look at it and make sure that's compatible with yours. But the other thing is that this doesn't even have to be hooked up to a video doorbell if you don't want it to. You can use this on any doorbell or video camera that takes a micro USB and takes the 5-volt input. So the other thing here about the way this is set up is it has a little tray that can slide in and out. You can see it unscrews right here on the bottom. And when this tray slides out, you can attach your doorbell to it if you want to. Or if you don't, let's say your doorbell's already installed on your house and you don't want to take it off, you can actually leave that doorbell on your house and have this tray just come out and not put this tray back in. Just leave this tray out, and it has 4 mounting holes here, so this would just be mounted around your doorbell basically, and not actually go and mount to it. But so for this one, since this is a new install, I can go ahead and attach my doorbell to this charger tray, and then now all I will have to do is mount these 4 holes here, and the doorbell will just be mounted to this tray and slide in and out there. So that's what my plan is to do. Now to do that, they do give you a guide here. This is a sticker, but it's the shape of that charger, and you probably can't see on the camera, but it does have little cutouts for the 4 holes that you'll need to install to mount this to the wall or the wherever you're putting this. So speaking about where are you going to put it, this obviously needs sunlight in order for it to work. It's a solar charger, and so what that means that this is not good for going underneath a porch or under an overhang, or if it's like in an apartment where it's a hallway. Obviously that doesn't work for this. So you do want to make sure that at least half of this device gets sun, like from like the right side or left side or just the top side. Ideally about 3 hours a day is ideal. Now this output, it says I think 2.2 watts of power output. I looked at Ring Solar's little charger. Theirs puts out about 0.6 watts, so less output than this one by far. I'm assuming the 2.2 that XTU claims is with all 4 of them lit up, which honestly is about impossible to have them all lit up. So you're probably dealing with about half of that, so around 1.5. But even so, that's still more than the total capacity that Ring says for their solar charger. So that should help with you. But still, even so, I haven't tested it. I'm going to go test it and plug it in and see how it goes. But in reality, I would not expect this to keep my doorbell fully charged year round. I think what it will mainly do is drastically extend the amount of time before the battery runs out. And that's because I'm here in Michigan. I'm probably not going to get as much sunlight as I want. And then I get a lot of deliveries from UPS, FedEx, Amazon Prime, Walmart, all that kind of stuff. So I get a lot of alerts. So if that happens, I think it's probably not going to keep it fully charged. But that's what we'll test. So I have it fully charged right now. I'll install it. We'll set it up, and we'll see after a week or so how is it doing from a battery life standpoint. Okay, so in the bag they also include a little tiny screwdriver, and then they also include a double-sided foam sticker tape. That's if you want to attach your doorbell to here with that. That is not a good idea for me. I guess perhaps it might be an okay idea to do it just to get things to line up, but they do also include screws and little nuts that are designed to mount here. And what you see here is they have lots of different mounting slots and holes kind of designed around being able to accept any type of doorbell. But honestly, even if yours did not accept it, or you're like hooking up some other camera that had a micro USB cable, you could just drill a hole through this plastic. That would be pretty easy to do as well. Okay, so for my Ring device, it has its own backing plate, so that's what I will use to line up here to this guy. And you can see when I line it up here and put it down the bottom, it actually lines up perfectly with these holes, so I'll be able to use the included screws. Alright, so the little nuts they include are actually pretty handy because they slide in between two little walls of plastic that keep them from spinning. So you can just use the one hand, and even this tiny screwdriver really wasn't that hard, to screw in my 4 holes here for my Ring doorbell. And now this goes on here and clips in place. And now I have my doorbell. Now I can add my 2 security screws down here in the bottom, and they have clearance for both those, and some of them have a single one in the middle. So that is how it's set up. And then this guy will plug in. You can see it has the opening there for that plug. Then now that it's plugged in, I can take this device, and obviously when I go up and install this outside, I will have the actual solar charger itself attached first to the wall, and then I'll slide this up and put these 2 screws in, and now I have a secured setup here. And they give you a little bit of space here to route the wire and whatever else on the back side here off of that. So looks pretty sleek there, and what I'm going to go is install it, and then we'll see how it does after about a week. Alright, this is where I'm going to place this guy for testing. So you can see it has a very short overhang there, so it'll get hopefully a good amount of sun. See, it's pretty cold out, and the batteries of course don't do as well when they're cold, so that's all the more reason to have a solar panel charger to help keep those batteries charged even in the winter time. So let's put this on here, and then we will test it out for several days, see how it goes. I'll just plug it in here, get the cord out of the way, and then I can slide this guy up. And then it has 2 screws on the bottom here to attach it to keep the slide from falling out. Alright, there we go. That's all there is to it. Let's see how it does. Okay, so I've left it out there for 3 weeks now to make sure I get a good idea of how well that battery stays charged. Now it is winter time here in Michigan, mostly December, now January of 2023, and so Michigan does not get a lot of sun oftentimes in the wintertime, so it really hasn't probably been a great test for a solar power or charger. Alright, so if I log into my Ring app and I look at the camera that's hooked up to the solar charger, you can see here in the top right it shows you the little solar icon for the battery, which means that it recognizes that it does get a solar charge. Now it's nighttime right now, so it's not actively charging, but it does recognize that there's a solar panel connected to it. And you can see here after 3 weeks it's 85%, and in fact that just dropped down to 85 from 86 because it did a health check here. But so that's 3 weeks, 15%, so about 5% a week is what I'm seeing. And when I looked at it earlier, it was actually dropping quicker because it was like rainy and some snow. And then the past few days have been a little bit better with peaks of sun here and there. And it's either I think it's only dropped 2%, like really the past week. So what I'm seeing is kind of what I said in the beginning of the video, that I kind of expected I wouldn't keep a full charge with this size panel because really it's not that big. I have other ones where I have like a much bigger solar panel, but this one's showing it'll last about 5 months or so in Michigan winter with not getting great sunlight. I bet you in the summertime it will probably hold its charge or maybe even charge up some in here in Michigan. So that's the only thing to know, is don't expect it to be 100% charged all the time. I have other cameras or other chargers that do keep my cameras at 100%, but that's not this one. So other than that, I've had no problems with it. It holds up, stands out there just fine. I haven't obviously done a long-term durability test, but from what I can see, it does perform like they say it does. And if you have a location for your doorbell camera that allows it to get sunlight with where it's placed, then I think this is a great way. It's much less obvious or intrusive than a solar panel about the size of this tablet mounted out somewhere. But like anything, there's always those trade-offs between aesthetics and function. So overall, I think this is a good little product. And if you like it, there are links in the video description down below. And then, as always, give my video a thumbs up and put any comments down below that you have or questions that you might have about the product. Thanks.